Hello guys, this is episode 7 of Redcraft Reborn, and we've got a lot of stuff planned, and we've also been making some work on the villager area to try and finish it off and at least polish so we can move on to other projects. So, I'm going to quickly show you guys around. As you can see, I've continued this building on. I've built a nice little staircase here. We've got all the librarians in, they're all traded up. We put in a shulker box here with the books in, and we also put in these chiseled bookshelves because I put them in there temporarily, but I actually liked them, so I kept them in there. I also added some redstone behind because obviously we wanted to continue the lamp theme on. The same with this one over here. These are just like other things, like you've got armorers here, weaponsmiths, toolsmiths. Up here you've got clerics, fletchers, leather workers, and then you got more up there. The same with the books over here. You've got loads and loads of the little elevator that takes you up to the next level. Stonemason, fisherman, shepherd, cartographer, and butcher. Like things that I don't use a lot of will be at the top ones. But let's go over some of the redstone that I've done. So if I empty this chest out here, you see how that light comes on? So when this chest is empty, like if I put a book in there, it goes off. Let me just throw this book over there. And then what happens is, if I take one book out of this thing, it refills, and then the light comes on. That basically tells me this back chest is empty and needs to be restocked. We've also changed the villager thing now. So when the baby, we have a... this is the switch over here. We have the redstone that comes down here. Let me just get out of here and let me go into free cam right here. Okay, so we have the redstone signal that comes down here for this, and then it goes up to this basically torch tower, which we will make look nice afterwards. I want to finish this area off over here, which basically activates this piston. When this piston's open, the villagers inside can see the bed and they'll breed. When it's closed, they can't see the bed, even though it's glass, so they won't breed. And then what happens is the villagers go down here, they go into this little water stream over here, they get taken down here, and then they just pop up over here, where I can have a minecart come and collect them while I'm looking at redstone. So this is the redstone signal that I use. Basically, it's just a comparator that sends a signal out, which powers this block, which depowers this torch, which when that's empty, and that will unpower this torch, which will then allow this torch to light up, which will then power this block, which will then run the signal. So because obviously they're stacked right next to each other, the reason why they're different is because I had to run them differently so the lines didn't cross. Like technically I could have taken out like these repeaters and I could have that as redstone, but there was just no point. Just to save a couple of repeaters, there was no point. So basically all stacked, all the same signal. But that way we could get it to work, and I used colored wool, because I like to use colored wool when it comes to doing redstone, because it makes it easy to fix when it's broken. This basically is triggered to a daylight sensor, which is all the way up here. We have this daylight sensor which powers this piston, which moves this redstone block down, which then powers that redstone dust, which basically brings the redstone all the way down to basically each individual line, at which point signals are taken off the lines for it to be done. This is basically, you remember what we built out there pretty early on? This is basically the same farm. It's just being fully completed. So obviously we've got potatoes there, we've got potatoes here, we've got wheat here, we've got wheat here. This is carrots and beetroots and beetroots. And basically what happens is the farmers will all harvest the crops as they need to. They'll try and share with this guy in the middle. The hopper minecarts will pick it up. It will go out to the back, at which point it will get spat out into this little water elevator, which will take it all the way up here. And then it will go round in a circle here until it eventually gets picked up by this sorting system. This is an overkill amount of chests. I just put them in there for now. This whole area is probably going to change at some point anyway, but in the meantime, this will basically work for now. I have here a little, I don't want to hold any crops. I want bone meal instead. I don't want to hold any crops. And what will happen is I flick that switch down there. It will basically unpower this piston and it will power this piston. So what it will do is it will shut off. Let me just flick the switch actually for a demonstration. So basically what it'll do is it unpowers this piston and then powers this one, which makes items in the water stream continue flowing straight up, at which point it gets put into this system, which will basically turn it into bone meal. And then when the bone meal is produced, the bone meal will come out here, at which point it continues on into the system and will continue to cycle around until it gets to its bone meal collection part of the system. So in the floor here, because you know me, I like making farms in the floor. Basically what we have is pump this side is melon. Some do get stuck on the edge, but the problem is we can't use the old style farms anymore because in the new update, minecarts won't be able to stock items through blocks. So basically what we did was I did this update. It's just a standard farm with an observer here, piston on either side with redstone. And then this one over here is obviously pumpkins, which is exactly the same farm. They both work exactly the same way. So yeah, so that's basically it for the base, for the tour of the base. I think that's pretty much where we left it last time. We've got a bunch of stuff that we want to do. We've had new members join, so we also may do a couple of introductions with some new members. Wickedy, who is online right now. Let's go up here. So Wickedy that's online right now. We've all met Wickedy. Go check her out on her stream. She streams over on Twitch when she plays on the server. I've also been trying to do some work out here as well, but haven't really gotten to it. And this little contraption that I'm working on over here is something for fireworks. Basically what it does is it makes fireworks. I used the design. I don't remember off the top of my head who built this design, but I've been looking around because I'm trying to get the original design. Didn't work. It's not that it didn't work, it's just it doesn't account for server lag, so it kept on getting jammed up and stuff. So I kind of had to add this little clock thing in because it was getting jammed. And then I've had to change some of the stuff in the redstone settings of it. I've had to change some of these settings and stuff because it wasn't working. It seems to be working now. Like I've been getting fireworks, although why is I'm out of gunpowder. Oh my god. That is the first time I've ever run out of gunpowder. Well, I guess we'll have to go over to the gunpowder farm and restock this up. I got plenty of sugarcane. So much sugarcane. Yeah. So, that's what we'll do first. We'll quickly run over to the gunpowder farm. I'll grab some shulker boxes. We'll head over there. Okay, guys, we are back. As you can see, we got a bit of... it looks a little different from when you last saw it. I had to kind of redesign it because it was not as efficient as I thought it was going to be. So basically what we did was we touched up some of the areas. We changed this chamber. And now this switch here turns the actual creeper farm on. So now the creepers will start flowing over. And the gunpowder starts flowing out the bottom there. And gets shot out into the powdered snow, at which point it drops it down into the water stream, at which point it comes up and then comes over and then goes in here. If you want to AFK, you crouch under this stone here, you stand on this pressure plate, and the creepers will drop in there, and then you just boom, boom. Especially if you've got a sweeping edge. If too many items, some of the items will drop straight through, some of the items won't. If you've got too many items building up in there, all you do is stand off the pressure plate and they'll drop down. And then they go into the collection system. It will only go into AFK mode if you're standing basically on this pressure plate, otherwise it will be off of AFK mode. And then you just flick the switch when you finish with it and it closes up there and stops creepers flowing through. As you can see, all the creepers will start flowing through now, and then it will just kill off whatever's in there and stuff. So we've basically been AFKing. We've gotten quite a bit of gunpowder, so let's take all of these. Yeah. So I've emptied some of these out, but there's still quite a bit left in there. All right, let's head over and start filling up my rocket thing. I will be back with you guys when I get back to the base. Okay, so it is filled up. I have 4 shulker boxes left over. Well, not full ones. So basically all of this now is filled up with gunpowder. And it's now crafting. And it's coming out with flight duration 3 fireworks. What usually I do is I let this get full. When this gets full, I basically just empty these into this over here. I do this passively while I'm working in the area. Every time I fly past it, I just check it, make sure it's empty. It's empty. I just unload it into there. Although I keep always doing it where I do it, and then I forget that I had fireworks on me, and then I forget to usually grab some for myself. And then basically I have fireworks that are getting loaded up into this box. So the whole point is that we can just grab one of these boxes and go when we need fireworks. Yeah, so that's basically, I'm working on this. Eventually I'm going to make a whole system for this, but I'm still working on this. I got to get a more reliable design. If anyone knows of a design out there that could be a little more reliable, then feel free to let me know. We got to take this down at some point because we've got the stuff inside now. I also tweaked the design a little bit. I have to go and check in the nether because we really need to build a gold farm. We are in desperate need for gold, especially if anyone's been watching Duck's video. Duck built something that requires a lot of gravel, and there's only one place really you can farm gravel from. So we need to go basically to the end. We need to go to the nether, and we need to find out a spot. We need to start getting some supplies. We've got to get some supply gathering. And hopefully we can build a slime farm. A gold farm even. Okay guys, so we are in the nether. We're going to start building the gold farm. We've all seen this like 100 times. I'm going to drop a link because I'm using the design by El Mango. I think he originally made it in 1.13. But it still should work. The same things. We may just do some modifications to it, but I think we're going to go straight into it. Okay guys, so it is built, as you can see. We've got the little farm in here. I'm just going to go into F4. That's F3. Just so you guys can take a little look around at how it works. So basically, you can see that we have they spawn in. They basically jump off the platforms. Some of them sit there. I don't fully know why this is, because they should be seeing these trapdoors as steps off. It was worse when I didn't have the trapdoors there, but I put the trapdoors there and it's gotten better. So basically they all go in, they go through to here. I set up a little temporary sorting system for now, but I've got to change it because the whole thing keeps clogging up. So we're going to change the actual system here. This was just temporary, just so I can see. And as you can see, I've done a bit of AFKing here, hence why I have over 1,000 levels. Let's go down and take, as you can see, the XP is flowing right into me. I did some changes with some hopper placements and things like that to account for like extra items. Drop down here. I'll get followed by this for a bit. So basically, as you can see, the gold comes in into here. This side hasn't filled up yet, but I've emptied it out not recently, so that's why that is. The swords and stuff go in there. Pig heads come into here. These get filled up with this one, and this one is rotten flesh. And then obviously we've got blocks of gold here, which shows how much I've been AFKing this place. This is for the ingots, and then these for what's it called, everything else, like the overflow from the rotten flesh is going into there. The swords are going into there. Any overflow will go into there. F4. Of course, now I'm up there. I don't know how there's a minecart here. So that's just spitting out the rotten flesh there. So yeah, that just gets rid of it. There's no reason. If I've got this many chests full of them, I don't need any more. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to separate this. So it's going to be 4 separate sorting systems. And then what we want to do is want to try and bring, because it is really annoying having to go collect this, basically turn it into ingots, and then turn the ingots into gold blocks. And I have to do this multiple times a day, otherwise it will overflow. So yeah, I would like to put in some kind of automated crafting system that automatically does this now, that, especially because we have the auto crafters. So I'm probably gonna get to that, and then I will get back to you when we've done it and see how things are flowing a lot easier then. Wickedy.
Yeah.
Are you up for playing a prank?
Sure. Hang on, I'm just testing something out. Does this work?
You would have to go down 1 block. They're not that
I
tall.
tried that.
Oh yeah,
Tried
I don't
it.
think it works. I don't think it works on them.
I wanted the bees to have heads, or the cat to have a head.
I don't think you can put heads on them. I think it's only like
Oh.
villagers, things that have like a head slot.
Okay.
Like
All right.
zombies, you could.
Yeah, that wouldn't be as fun.
So
Yes.
I have these,
Yes.
and I have these.
Want some other heads?
And I'm thinking Nilaria's base.
Yes, but we need other heads as well. If you're going to do that, have other noises as well.
Yeah, we could.
Hang on.
By any chance,
Come
do you
through
happen to have any chicken eggs?
Oh, I would it down at the other bit, but I had, see in there, I had, no.
With any of this, because we don't want it to be able to find it so easily. So
Okay, where are you?
I made a hole. I'm right down in the basement. I made a hole. Oh, there we are.
Don't have
so
any
weird. It's so weird mining without a beacon.
How big are you wanting it?
Well, what we could do is we can just make it wide enough, and then we can start putting down some of the redstone and see if it's big enough. Or it depends on how annoying we want it to be as well.
Barely. Don't need her to find it straight away.
No, you don't want it to find it straight. That's why I'm using Silk Touch. It's why I've built it far enough down. Okay, so what we want to do is there's some note blocks. You want to place them like this?
So I'll need to move the heads.
Yeah. I'm going to place them basically like this. If I need to make more, I can always make more. Okay, and then what I need to do is I need to put my ender chest down.
Yeah, I need it wider, I think.
A little bit. I need my redstone box.
Ooh, while you're wiring all this up, I can move her veggies, change the location. I think I found her mine.
You think you found her mine? Well, mind the gap.
Mind your manners.
It's going to drive her nuts when this goes off. Because we're going to use a chicken as a randomizer. So it's not going to always go off at the same time. So trying to find it is going to drive her nuts.
Oh my god. When's she due on?
She usually comes on really early morning for me. It's a shame she doesn't record. I'd love to have gotten a reaction when she hears this.
Do you need it bigger?
I will need probably 3 more blocks this way.
No, can't go that way because that's where the what do I call it?
Mine.
The ladder to her mine. Can we go 3 blocks the other way?
Yeah, it just means I got to change the repeaters. We can go this way. It just means I got to change the direction of the repeaters. So these repeaters, we need to change the direction of them. So instead of them going this way, they'll go the other way.
Yeah, as if I know what you're talking about.
Instead of being this way, they'll go... Like,
I'll let you do that while I go
way.
up and do the veggies. I came out right next to her portal.
And you know the funniest thing is, because she doesn't have the free cam thing set up properly, it's not even like she could free cam to find it.
Yeah, I mean, she won't know.
No.
I've still got 10 note blocks.
It's fine. We'll see how this sounds, and then we can, if we need to, we can always make it. We can always extend it that direction. Did she actually move them down here? I know she said she was trying to. I'm not sure if she actually did or not.
Yeah, I know they escaped and ran around and caused lots of problems. So she was moving them and kept forgetting that they can use doors. I didn't dare tell her that they can use ladders as well.
I know, yeah, I was thinking that when I was reading her message. I was like, just so you know, they can use ladders as well. I'm like, nah, I'll leave her to find that surprise for herself.
Yeah, no, I didn't tell her either.
Although it sounds like she brought them down because I can hear them down here, so they've got to be pretty close to me for me to hear them. And you back.
Oh, no, I heard that.
You haven't heard the best part yet. You ready for this?
Yep. Oh. Do you need any more hair?
Well, if you want, what we can actually do is we can... How many did you say you had? 10?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 there. And then if you've got 10, that'll leave you 2 left over. I've got 6 on me. there's another row right there, and it should be enough for another row. Oh, perfect. Looks like it's destined to be. Repeater. Let's put in the repeaters. One, two, three, four.
So many different heads. This is great. So dark, I can't work out what this dark head is. Is it a phantom?
Which one?
No, that's a phantom.
It's an endermite.
Oh no! Oh, they're awful.
And then I will show you a redstoner's best version of a randomizer. Oh wait, there's heads missing? Oh yeah, there's heads missing over here. Grab some more pigment heads if you run out of heads.
Giving you a heads up while I get going.
What we do is the pressure plate will power this block. Can you go into that red shulker and get me something called a comparator? Yep, that's it. So it takes the signal from that every time that gets triggered. And then what we do is we'll run. What I'm going to do is I've got to block off this line here. So throw the eggs in there until you get a chicken. Only until you get a chicken. You only want one. So that will basically roam around, and then occasionally it will basically stand on the pressure plate, which will trigger this whole thing to go off.
Oh my god.
The best kind of randomizer.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna do a head in.
And she won't know, as long as we leave everything the way that we found it, she won't know where it is.
The farm. Because she knows that you're going to do something, so that's why I had to do the farm.
Yeah.
Come on, grow up.
I wanted to make her think that I did something really easy for her. The funny thing is she's going to know right away it's me. Because I'm the only one that can produce this many heads.
Well, I'm always innocent.
And because they sound so loud everywhere, she's not going to know where to look for them.
Oh, I don't want to be on when she gets on, but I want to be on. All right, I'm escaping before she gets on.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to get out of here as well before she gets on too. Thanks, Wickedy! Okay, guys, we are back, and as you can see, we're back in the gold farm. So we have done some work down... Oh, I went into the wrong mode. We have done some work down here. Just ignore the XP that's just currently smothering me. Oh, it's going to be a while. So basically, we've created a little system here, and now what we have is a step-down system. So in order to avoid... Let me just go in so I can show you around. So in order to avoid items backlogging, what we do is we've had a 4 collection system. So each pigment that falls into each chamber goes off to its own collection system, which has its own attached sorting system to it. As you can see right here, it comes through, it goes through, it gets rid of the swords, and basically it keeps everything else. And basically the rotten flesh, the pig heads, the ingots, and the nuggets. Obviously, we'll go into the step down system in a minute. So what happens basically here is then it starts to get processed through this system and goes to the next system. Now here we have, right here, basically the nuggets are crafted through this area into ingots, and then basically they shoot down to this system, which then goes into the next system, which is down here. So all the other items just flow straight down. Ingots, rotten flesh, and the pig heads just flow straight down. Swords are gone already. And then the nuggets are crafted into ingots, and then they flow down as well. Which then comes through into this next sorting system, which is down here. And as you can see, I got 3 for ingots, 3 for gold blocks, 2 for rotten flesh, and 1 for the zombie pigment heads. If we start to overflow in any of these, we have the ability in this section here to shut them off. So if I don't want a certain item to flow, like I don't have 1 rotten flesh to flow down because it keeps clogging up the system, so I'm holding it up here. So because I have this light pressed, which is powering this comparator, which is powering that repeater, which is basically locking this hopper down here. So through here, there's should be no. Can I click that? There we go. Oh, that's the back chest. But there's no items flowing through. So as you can see, this chest remains full. It won't allow items to flow through. But if I was to click this, you'll see the items start flowing out. I just don't want it to clog up the system because it keeps clogging up the system. So basically, I've turned all the rotten flesh off so it doesn't flow down. Golden ingots and the golden nuggets will automatically go through and they get crafted, and then they come down to this next system, which is down here. This is the main storage area. As you can see, we don't have nuggets down here because there's no reason for nuggets down here. We have 2 chests for rotten flesh, which we have some rotten flesh that's flowing through. Most of it's still up there. I just don't want to clog the system up. Pigment heads that coming over here, and then obviously gold blocks. So the way that I have this set up is, so the ingots come down from, oh, that's the wrong one. The ingots come down, go through into this crafting system, which automatically crafts them into gold blocks, and then they come through here, get shut up this item elevator, and get spit back into the system for them to be resorted back into. They'll go into basically the gold chest, the golden block chest, which is why over the AFKing bit of time that we've been AFKing, we've gotten quite a few golden blocks. This obviously includes like all of the ones out in the shulker I put back in the system, so that way then I don't have to keep holding them down there. I just want to try and keep all my gold here if I can, until I build a piglin farm. So we've slowly managed to collect quite a bit of stuff through. But I think that's all we have time for in this video, so I will bid you a fair do, and I will see you next time on Redcraft Reborn.